For Susan Galarza, this has been a tough day. Her husband is aboard the Saratoga, his first time at sea.
Well, I worry about him. So, just hope he's safe. He said that there's going to be a lot of boats out there, so he's pretty safe. So I guess he's right.
I'm just really scared. Just don't want him to leave.
The sailors and airmen of the Saratoga and 14 escort ships are headed for the Mediterranean. The Navy calls it routine. But here in Mayport, Navy families know it can be dangerous.
This ship has about 5,000 men on it, and it's going to the Mediterranean for 3 reasons officially. One of them is because of our commitment to our NATO allies. It's also going to be taking part in some exercises with some of our allies over there. And third, to act as a goodwill ambassador for our country.
We're going to miss everybody here in Jacksonville, but the job's got to be done, I guess.
Dependents of the sailors will do their best to cope while their men are away.
It's going to be a lot of responsibility put on me that I'm not used to, and just got to get through it. It'll be rough, but we'll do it somehow.
For many of those who serve aboard the Saratoga, it's no different than previous missions.
No, this is my 6th time over there, and this ain't going to be no different from any other.
The Saratoga is scheduled to be on tour about 6 months. As it sailed off today, the wife of one sailor said, "All we can do now is hope and pray." Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Mayport, Florida.
So it was on the 5th of June that USS Saratoga set sail from Mayport and headed east for the Mediterranean Sea. It was a day of mixed emotions for the crew, sadness over leaving friends and family, but also a feeling of relief as the months of intensive training and sea trials had at last culminated in Med Cruise 87.
While I sit and try to think things to say, someone lies bleeding in somewhere. So it would seem we've still got a long, long way to go. I've seen all I want to see today.
For the next 11 days, the training continued. Pilots completed their final carrier qualifications, honing their precision flying skills, which make Navy pilots the best in the world. But the work going on below the flight deck was just as difficult and just as important. The drills continued as the 5,000 men of Saratoga fine-tuned their varied talents into a battle-ready carrier. Hearts and minds were still on the pier in Mayport, but a busy schedule quickly focused our attention on the business of operating aboard a deployed aircraft carrier. The early morning hours of June 16th found the Saratoga passing through the Strait of Gibraltar and sailing once again in the waters of the Mediterranean Sea. We quickly rendezvoused with the USS Kitty Hawk off the coast of Rota, Spain, for the changing of the Mediterranean Guard. The Kitty Hawk began her well-deserved trip home, and Saratoga assumed her role as America's principal guardian and first line of defense in the Med. The turnover completed, Saratoga headed for the Spanish island of Palma de Mallorca.
Well, I never been to Spain, but I kinda like the music. See, the ladies are insane there,
After 17 days at sea, Liberty boats were a welcome sight. For many, Palma was the first taste of European lifestyle. The island resort offered everything from ancient castles to beautiful beaches. It was a good chance to relax and get away from the ship's demanding routine at sea.
Well, I've never been to England, but I kinda like the Beatles. Well, I hit it for Los Vegas, only made it out to Needles. Can you feel it? Must be real, feels so good. So good. Well, I've never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma.
Saratoga sailors, as usual, went that extra mile in Palma. A group of 30 Sarah-men donated their liberty time to help bring a little joy into the lives of some local orphans. With food and drinks donated by the ship's Chief Petty Officers Association, the sailors extended a hand of friendship and warmth to some children whose lives were in need of both.
Go ahead.
On the 26th of June, we weighed anchor and headed out once again to our operating area. Underway replenishments, flight ops, drills, the at-sea routine was resumed. In 5 short days, we were back in port. This time, it was the French seaport of Marseille. Marseille is a working city and a far cry from the festive lifestyle of Palma. Saratoga sailors sampled some of the great French cuisine in quaint sidewalk cafes and visited many of the historical sites in the area. It was appropriate that Saratoga was in a French port for the 4th of July. It was French aid during the American Revolution that helped us have cause for celebration on that date. More than 1,000 French guests attended a special 4th of July party aboard the ship that featured Saratoga's Marine Detachment performing a sunset parade on the flight deck. With spinning rifles and bayonets, the silent drill team awed the crowd with brilliant maneuvers and stunning precision.
Well, my part in the parade was a rifle inspector. I'd come out in front of the drill team and inspect 2 people out of it. And we'd go on through that, and after that we'd march off. Well, I would say Marseille wasn't as great as the other ports because their beaches wasn't really beaches, it was more like piers. And the other ports, I really enjoyed the beaches. But all in all, Marseille was a nice port.
Well, it took about a month of steady training to get ready for it. And what we can't forget is that it took half the detachment to do the sunset parade itself, and it took the other half to maintain the guard. So consequently, when one half of the guard was gone, that would mean that the other half of the guard would have to do all the work. Well, actual drill hours, they would drill. If they were not a rifle inspector and just within the routine, they would drill at least a minimum of 8 hours. And then, of course, the rifle inspectors, would drill an extra 2 to 3 hours.
It's a great feeling. After everything's done and you know it went well, it makes you just feel great.
Marseille was the first of 2 French ports the Super Sarah would visit during July as part of Operation Friendship. Saratoga crew members once again displayed their exceptional diplomatic skills while sharing an important time of the year with America's oldest allies. A ship-sponsored picnic highlighted the 5-day visit to Cannes. 300 Saratoga sailors attended the party at La Canée Park, which premiered the ship's band, The Limit. It was a cultural exchange with a distinctively American twist, rock and roll. Operation Friendship continued when sailors and Marines from Saratoga helped the city celebrate Bastille Day on July 14th. Rear Admiral J.M. Borda, Commander, Battle Force 6th Fleet, and Saratoga's commanding officer, Captain David Frost, attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the city's War Memorial.
Cannes, France was nice. It was a very relaxing port. Yeah, I was there quite, I mean, I didn't feel like I was rushed there. You know, like some ports you go to, you feel like you have to rush and run through them. Now, this one's very nice, very relaxed. The people were very friendly. It seemed like they were more than, they go out of their way to help you find things.
Our next port visit brought with it some of the best liberty to date for Saratoga.
Let me tell you about a place somewhere up in New York ways, where the people are so gay, twisting the night away. Here I have a lot of fun.
Benidorm, located on the white coast of Spain, was built around one major business, tourism. During the summer, the population of this resort city skyrockets from 38,000 to almost 500,000 as Europeans flock to Benidorm's carnival-like atmosphere and sun-baked beaches.
So far, and I believe I speak for the rest of the crew, is Benidorm. It was more of a resort town, more better beaches, I think. The shopping was outstanding. Club, the nightlife, excellent. And that's the best port so far was Benidorm. Well, I enjoy walking around the city, meeting the people, and the people are quite friendly. Just laying out on the beach and having a good time.
I think I enjoy Benidorm the most.
Why is that?
Because there was a real wide open town. Everybody was there to have fun. Everybody there was on vacation for what they call holidays here in Europe. And basically every night you could go out and find somewhere to go. People were out all night. There was never a boring minute. You always find something to do, nice food to eat, people to meet.
Well, the best port that I enjoyed so far is Benidorm, Spain. And the reason I enjoyed it because I'm from Dallas, Texas, and we don't have beaches down there. And they had quite a few beaches, you know, and the beaches were really nice, things of that nature. They had nice restaurants, you know, a lot of nice places to go. And it was overall, it was a great port, you know, great port visit.
Over half of the cruise has passed, and each day away is just another closer to home. Mail call is still the best part of the day. Letters from home help span the distance and ease the burden of being so far away. The long days and nights at sea pass. Work fills the void in our lives, once filled by family and loved ones. We are one in our mission aboard Saratoga, but also united in our desire to once again be home.
I am sailing home again, across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to be near you, to be free. I am flying, I am flying like a bird across the sky. I am flying, passing high clouds to be near you, to be free. Say